and then just say, hey, everybody, how you doing? We're just getting set up here, waiting a few minutes for people to find the link to the Concert for Democracy that we're having tonight. Gaye is sitting over there in her beautiful place with her guitars, ready to play and sing a little bit for us. Um, so that, let's see. I'll try to look for the link myself. See if I can find it. Oh, it says it's live now. So theoretically, if I share this, yeah, we're definitely live. Share. Well, I'll share it. There we go. How do we do that? Just hit this button here. Huh. Okay. Well, I think we're sharing it. Hopefully we get, oh, Lynette French has joined us, so we know that somebody is looking at us too. Thanks very much for joining. So I guess we can get started. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Concerts for Democracy. I'm Jefferson Glassy, Chief Spiritual Dude of the Planetary Gig Society, whose mission is creating unity through music. I like to say, making connections through music with the intention of bringing peace. And we are here tonight to have a concert for democracy because, you know, democracy is not completely given. We're kind of at an intersection point here. And I can think of no better way to combine this concert with an effort to support democracy than with, I'm proud to call her my friend, Blues Music Award winner with the group Sapphire, the Uppity Blues Women for quite some long time. And to me, she is the queen of the universe, Gaye Adegbaloloa.
I
Gaye,
like that. Thank you.
how you doing? It's so great to be with you.
Oh, that's just fine. But my life partner's name is Queen, and she thinks she's the queen of everything. Yeah, the universe and whatever else there is. So it was so funny when you said that. But yeah, I like that intro. Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah,
Thanks.
sure thing. I think, you know, when we did a podcast interview, I was saying the same kind of thing. You know, Gay is a brother, and you said, you know, I'm the queen of the universe. And so
All
I
right.
said, okay,
Grand Poopah.
yeah. Now we have two queens there.
Yeah, make it big, baby. Make it big.
Very appreciative. So let me give a little bit of the background for this. Um, you know, we've been doing a bunch of programs, Planetary Gig Society, and it might have been September, was on a call with some friends, and Ann Lesson said, we should do some sort of, wish we could do some concerts to support democracy. And I had been thinking about that. And, you know, the idea of doing, you know, live aid or farm aid or something, that's pretty serious business. I mean, that's a lot of logistics. There's a whole different thing. But in this pandemic era, with Zoom and Facebook Live and YouTube and all that, you know, we could just have a little concert. So we've now had, this is the 9th Concert for Democracy that we've had. And over 25 musicians have performed, including Gaye, contributed a video to the first one. We had Joseph Wooten, we had the famous singer Devi from India, we had Asha Khan Band from India, we had Simon Thomas from Australia, Vivian Ertz from the Netherlands, a whole bunch of people. And then since then, Sparky Rucker and Rhonda
Oh yeah.
did one, you know, and Sparky is so great. He was saying, boy, I just feel like I've been holding my finger in the dike, you know, holding on to democracy and fighting for peace and justice his whole life.
Mhm.
We also had Magpie on, and part of the goal was the reason we call them concerts for democracy is it's we need more than one. We need a lot, and hopefully we can encourage some other people to do some concerts for democracy too, because we're at a really critical moment.
Mhm.
There's really nobody better than Gaye. Gaye, I appreciate you so much. I mean, I really do. You inspire me all the time. And just what you put out there, you've been putting out the half lit and talking schmack, and there's fun.
Wait a minute, Jeff. You have to kind of pause. You say, I'm doing a show called Half Lit and Talking Schmack, you
Oh,
know, to make people think that I'm going to say something else. But Queen made me clean it up, you know. I would, but just to let you know how important what it is, what you do. Um, Back many, many years ago, Booker T. Washington was working down south and he was teaching people how trades. He was teaching Black folks how to do blacksmithing and how to do sewing and stuff like that. And of course, people up north denounced him for not teaching reading, writing, and arithmetic. He was teaching people how to make a living. And finally, he answered by just saying, you just have to drop down your bucket where you are. So what you do when you decide to do these concerts, you're dropping down your bucket. You're using what skills you have in the place that you are right now, 8 o'clock on Friday night, and you're dropping down your bucket. And I'm so appreciative of you for doing that. A lot of people just sit around and watch dumb TV. No, you're making a dent in this world that we live in. Important.
well, I'm just emulating you, Gaye. Uh,
Ah,
you've been making a dent your whole life. But you know, the thing about democracy is, in the course of doing this, and we had a conversation with Joseph Wooten about on Planetary Gig Talk Live, race and music. And one thing he said coming out of that was democracy needs music
mhm,
and music needs democracy.
mhm.
I had not thought of it quite that way, you know, but I think it's really true. You know, if we did not have democracy, if we were living in an authoritarian state, um, things would be a lot different. And the sad thing is that, you know, democracy is tied into race issues, and we have to really fight for equality, for everybody. I know you've been doing that all your life.
Yeah, yeah, no choice really. Been dropping down my bucket. Um, Something interesting I read recently. I've been uh, I was gifted for my birthday Nikki Giovanni's recent book of poetry, and it's called "Make Me Rain." And in there, she talks in one passage, not a poem, about how during the Middle Passage, so many of the slaves didn't have a language. So you know that it started with a moan and it started with a song, and that was what sustained us. And we had to have a song so that when we got off the boat, we couldn't speak this language. As she put it, um, the fellow on the auction block probably thought his name was sold because that's what he heard again and again and again. But what sustained us and what united us ultimately was a song. And I'm sure that song was the blues. But yeah, music, yeah, I don't think I don't think there could be life without music, not in my world anyway. And I think with Black folks, God knows it was music that sustained us. Um, and even if it were a totalitarian state, we'd still have to have music. We'd have to have music. Yeah.
And in some respects, I mean, we have been in a police state that's affected some folks more than other folks. I mean, I will be the first to admit I've grown up with the white privilege, and thinks I've had a, you know, a good life, but I'm really appreciative of the fact that I've been able to recognize that, you know, the diversity is the strength of people and the planet really. And last year, in the pandemic, with the George Floyd situation and so many people at home, finally facing the fact that this has been going on a long time.
Right, right, right. And what we have to be aware of too is these horrific murders that make it onto TV. But there are a lot of other lynchings that are going on. One thing that we're fighting here in Fredericksburg, I'm a member of our NAACP. I'm vice president of our local NAACP, and it's essential that I belong and that other Black folks belong because we need a national organization. But a fight that we're having here in Fredericksburg is that these tanker cars are parked on the railroad tracks full of propane and full of chlorine, and they're like 40 yards from all of these houses in the Black community. And that's what you call environmental racism. So you have all these other forms of racism that don't get on the news, but it's happening. It's happening, and we've got to be aware that things are disproportionately affecting Black lives. The same thing, it became true with just mental health. It became true with access to services during the pandemic. And so many Black folks are struggling. And we're at a crossroads. We're at a major crossroads right now. And we gotta struggle. And anybody who's listening in right now, you really have to do something. You know, get off your ass and do something. I don't care how small it is, but you gotta invest some time, not just money.
Yeah, another one of the great lessons for me was I was fortunate enough to read Isabel Wilkerson's both of her books. One, "The Warmth of Other Suns," about the diaspora of, you know, the Blacks in the South out through the country and how hard that was and what they dealt with. But also her book Caste, which talks about some of the things that you were just mentioning. And when you understand that we basically do have a caste system,
Mhm.
and that the upper white caste does not want to give up that power, and you know, the white mob mentality that has been seen for hundreds of years, we saw it on January 6th too, you know. And so I guess we need some music.
I am very afraid that we're on the verge of a civil war. I hate to even say those words, but I have to. And they have got the guns, you know. So we better have some sort of spiritual sustenance because it's going to be long, it's going to be protracted, and it's going to be more than a financial situation. But you know, some days I will look in the mirror and say, I'm really glad I'm old because the shit is coming. And you know,
Well, so all we can do is get together and enjoy the music, play some music, right?
yeah,
Got a few
yeah,
songs
yeah,
right
yeah.
now,
But
right?
when I was talking about I'm old, like last year when George Floyd happened, and there were all of these protests right in my community, but I didn't go. I didn't go. I wanted to go, but I didn't go because I didn't know where the porta potties were. And when you get to be 77, you can't just go running out into a protest. You got to think about things like the porta potties. However, if the verdict 2 weeks ago had not come down guilty, I was going to go to the protest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you want me to play some music, Jeff?
Oh man, that'd be so great, Gay.
Okay. Well, I might as well start with a history lesson, I call it. And this is Nothing's Changed. And it's on Oh Lord. I keep changing the lyrics though. So the lyrics are changing. I I recorded the song originally in 1999. It's on Bittersweet Blues. And then I did it again later when I rewrote it when it was a mess in Charlottesville. And then I've kind of rewritten the last verse to it after January 6th. But it really is quite a little history lesson. Let's see if I can get it good now. Sit-ins and picket lines for civil rights. Dogs and water hoses, crosses burning in the night. Was down in Mississippi that Emmett Till was lynched. Then down in Texas, James Byrd was dragged and ditched. James Byrd, a righteous name I know. Just changed their James to Jim, and the bird is still a pro. Change, nothing has changed. Change, nothing has changed. Washed and ironed all the white folks' clothes. Nurse their babies, now she works in nursing homes. Had to be twice as good to get half a chance. Still fired first and hired last. They talk about a glass ceiling, but don't you know she's down on her knees on a concrete floor. Change, nothing has changed. Change, nothing has changed. Landless against the landlord, nothing's really changed. For what it's worth, they got you coming, got you going. It's all based on greed. You rent to own, and the interest make you bleed. Used to buy from old master at the company store. Now call it MasterCard. It keeps some people poor. Change, nothing has changed. Change, nothing has changed. KKK and the Nazis march on Capitol Hill, spewing hate, carrying guns, wanting blood to spill. They're saluting Hitler and their president. They wave that rebel flag like the war ain't over yet. If that mob had been black, they'd all be dead by now. But those white thugs walk around free, that's what your law allows. Change, nothing has changed. Change, nothing has changed. How can I be angry? There's been some changes, true. Too slowly in my lifetime, there's much more we can do. Anytime a child is hungry, anytime there's homeless men, anytime there is no doctor and there is no medicine, anytime there's ethnic cleansing, anytime there's genocide, anytime there's been a face crack and freedom's been denied, anytime there's been a big crack and freedom's been denied. Change, nothing has changed. Change, nothing has changed. Oh, anytime there is a war and religious persecution, a shepherd or a Trayvon, another fatal shooting, anytime there is a letter, anytime a reservation, anytime we meet up face to face with discrimination, how can I be angry? There's been some changes true. Too slowly in my lifetime, there's much more we can do. Gotta make a change. Yeah. Gotta make a change now. One by one now. Two by two now. Gotta make a change. Gotta make a change. Yeah, gotta make a change.
It's,
Little history lesson, if you will. Um, and when I do that song, one thing that I focus on is that second verse. Washed and ironed the master's clothes, nursed their babies. Now she works in nursing homes.
mm,
So anybody listening, if you have any folks in the nursing homes, please tip the CNAs, certified nursing assistants, who are changing the beds of the people with COVID, but they aren't considered first responders. Right here, right now, look at something so positive, how we celebrate the doctors and the nurses and the people administering the respirators and stuff like that. And we don't even think about all those mainly women, mainly Black women, who are in nursing homes struggling every day. And then you think about something like January 6th. Those thugs were smearing feces all over the Capitol building. And guess who cleaned the feces off? You want to take a guess? You know who it was.
yeah.
You know who it was. And they're just out walking around free, still spewing Trumpisms as that man gets ready to run again. And so when you talk about coming from a white supremacist position, yeah, but you know, the same way you used to say back in the day, oh, I've got some good Black friends, I've got some good white friends. And I say to them, what you need to do is get involved with your state and the state legislators. You need to work for whoever is representing your district. And I mean work on and knock on doors. And I don't mean to be preaching, but while I have this opportunity, I told you I was working in the NAACP and I was working on our political action committee, our PAC. And our PAC is, we just finished an election. And after that election in November, we just finished reading Stacey Abrams' book on how to lead. You know, what has she done? How did she make that happen in Georgia? Well, damn it, everybody needs to read some of her books. So what what she said was most important was talking to people. And not people who are on the other side, but people who don't have the knowledge and haven't made any kind of decision. Now, that's not going to happen out of the air. So that's why people need to get off their asses and go get involved with voter registration and knock on doors and talk to people instead of us talking to ourselves all the time. So we're trying to do some things. I know that in Fredericksburg, we elected a young man, a young Black guy to our House of Delegates. And when the final thing came down, it was Fredericksburg, our little hometown, that put him over and put him in office. And we did what we needed to do. So it's about getting involved. It's about getting involved. So I don't know. I took off from what I was singing about and went on into a whole nother planet, Jeff.
I'm so appreciative. I'm so glad that you did. I mean, you know, that song about change, you're talking about some of the changes that people can do. But when it comes down to it, in a lot of ways, you know, people with my skin color need to change. Our perspective needs to change.
Mhm.
I
And
mentioned,
sometimes that takes going to a different environment. I know you just came back from Nepal. You were there for a month, and
yeah,
that had to have impacted you. Um, I had the pleasure of playing in Africa a few times, and that really impacted me. You know, it's so funny because Africans think, a lot of Africans think that Black Americans have it so good, but what you have to understand is that there's no other civilization that has ever been, that has been set up in such a way where Blacks have been oppressed this way. No other civilization in the world has had what America has had. And it's a hard thing to understand about how systemic the damage is. It's so deep. It's so deep. And I'm not sure that it'll go away in a generation or two. You know, so it's going to take a while for things to change. And, you know, that's another one of them things. I'm kind of glad I'm old, you know, glad I'm old, but it's hard.
Yeah. You know, for me, it's the, you know, the perspective of, you know, I was not, you know, I didn't live then and was not an enslaver, but you know what? I had families in family in Louisiana. They had a sugar plantation.
Mhm,
That was one of the toughest things you could do. They say they worked from can't to
mhm,
can't see to can't see,
mhm.
and it was pretty brutal. And you know, when you read Isabel Wilkerson and it's just it's such a horror. It's the cruelty. There were some somebody was lynched or burned alive every 4 days from 1890 to 1930 in the South. Now think of the level of cruelty and also the level of fear that you would have
Mhm,
to be able to treat somebody like that.
mhm.
And it's I think it's very hard when we espouse democracy here in the United States for
And
people.
if people still have that same level of fear.
Yes.
Yeah, move
Yeah.
on. Move on.
And to realize that yeah, and I mean it's the same level of fear that continues on, but you know, see what's we have to see what's right for everybody because we know that, you know, a band with all tubas would be kind of not so great, you know, or all piccolos. And just the same way, you know, realize you're when you know people from India and people from South Carolina and all over and different accents and attitudes, there's such richness. There's so much you can learn, so many different perspectives. I mean, it's the rainbow of life that we have in front of us.
Yeah.
Um,
I heard something encouraging today. I just caught it for a minute, fleeting. They were doing kind of like a little summary of the news of the week. And Biden has reached out to India. And India is really, really having a hard time with the COVID. And so all of our extra supplies and all are going to India. And our raw materials used to make the vaccine that are in excess are going to India. So if the US can assume its rightful position of leadership in the world, starting with this, because the pandemic is a worldwide thing. And if we can start there and spread the treatment of our fellow man and let our true democracy spread, then that's what the world has to become. And you know, music plays a small part, but it's so essential to, with Black folks, I'm a blues artist. So with the blues, two things were important. Number one, to get the pain out. But number two, to shake your ass on a Saturday night.
yeah.
To have some goodness, some freedom, some movement, you know, some joy. You have to have the joy, you have to have the hope in order to know what it is that you're working for. So, you know, music is essential on many fronts. And of course, I'm a proponent of the blues for being healing music and liberating music, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. That's I think democracy is very hard for people kind of in their hearts don't think that they're equal, but I think the reason that they have that is because they're afraid that they're not, that they're inferior. I want to tell you, frankly, I just think black folks are so much cooler than, I mean, everybody, you're just so much cooler than me. I mean, I can wear funny looking topi and whatever, but I just don't have the, man, I don't have the whole thing. But
I don't know. You look pretty cool to me with that. What's the name of the hat you have on?
topi.
Topi, yeah. And kufi is what, yeah, a lot of the little black hats are called. And as a matter of fact, I have a picture with my little hat on. But what I was thinking, well, let me do a song, okay?
There you go.
This song is the most recent one that I've written. So I'm pulling up the lyrics over here. Let me pull up my lyrics.
Makes sense. I'm gonna go off screen for all you people out there who
Okay,
maybe
all right.
for democracy someday when you're showing the artist, you just stop your video and there you go. Okay, yeah,
All right, here we go. Woke up this morning, didn't know what to do or where to go. Now it's noon, and I still don't know. To sleep at night, I ask for guidance. I say, lead me, Lord, take me, Lord. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm gonna keep the faith and spread the faith that everything gonna be all right. Yeah, I'm gonna keep the faith and spread the faith that every little thing gonna be all right. So come with me. Take this ride with me. I don't know where I'm going. I just might go outside. Come on, hold my hand. I'll take this ride with me. We're gonna be singing freedom songs on this journey called life. But we gotta keep the faith and spread the faith that everything gonna be alright. Yes, keep the faith and spread the faith that every little thing gonna be alright. Yeah, come sing with me, sing freedom songs with me. When you name your fears, you tame your fears. Try it, don't deny it. When fear's in my head, I don't hide it, I paint it red. I say, get back, Satan, get back. Can't you see freedom's all over me? In this lottery of life, I play my numbers. 1 and 20, 20 and 1, and the prize is hope. Hope's a good breakfast, but I need more at dinner time. I'm brave enough to see the light, and I'm brave enough to be the light. I'm gonna keep the faith and spread the faith that every little thing gonna be alright. Yeah, you know I'm gonna keep the faith and spread the faith that every little thing gonna be alright. I'm gonna keep the faith. I'm gonna spread the faith that every little thing gonna be alright. Yes, when you name your fears, you will tame your fears, and freedom songs will make it alright. Hey, when fears in your head, don't hide it, paint it red. Get back, Satan, get back. It's gonna be alright. I'm gonna keep the faith, spread the faith that every little thing gonna be alright. One more time. Keep the faith and spread the faith that everything gonna be alright. trying to keep the faith, Jeff. I'm trying to keep.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're a man of the spirit. You're the man of the spirit, you know, and we don't have all the answers. We know that we are here. I know I'm a child of God. I know I do my best to spread love, you know. I you know, if you can love your enemies, wow. You know, oh, I have another song I'd like to do for you. It's about John Lewis. Um, but anyway, I will go wherever you lead me. You keep on talking, and I'll keep on jumping in, and we'll just ride this freedom train together.
Right.
Earlier tonight, Queen was like, "What's with this lottery and the numbers 1 and 20, 20 and 1?" That was the inauguration. January 20th, 1920, I mean, 2021, 2021.
I,
Yeah.
I was
And
gonna.
they're brave enough to see the light, brave enough to be the light. That was that pretty little black girl that was doing the poem at the end. Yeah.
It was absolutely beautiful.
Oh, yes, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. So I started to name the song The Inauguration, but I've named it Keep the Faith, obviously. Yeah. And that line was taken from a Biden speech a couple of months before the inauguration. He said that every time he went to see his grandparents and he'd be leaving, and his grandmother would say, "Now, Joey, I want you to keep the faith." And his grandfather would say, "And Joey, you spread the faith." And so it was like, let me jot that down. It might make its way into the song. And it did. Yeah, it did.
I remember that. That's a beautiful song, and I did hear Amanda Gordon in there.
Yeah.
She,
Yes.
she was so amazing, and she helps us keep the faith. I think, you know, the young people, what they do, they have such energy, such beauty. They see a world, you know, my kids, you know, they have a different life. I'm just hoping that we can get it straightened out for them a little bit. But, you know, Gabe, if you want to do that John Lewis song, boy, we're ready to roll, whatever you want to do.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, as it happens, this gentleman from California got in touch with me, and he said, you know, that he had a Bandcamp platform, and he wanted me to send him some songs to put on his Bandcamp. And he sent some funds so that I could record them in a good way. So that last song, I'm working on it. I'm bringing in Risa, God willing, and Queen, God willing, and we'll have a little choir in the background.
Beautiful.
And this next song, I'm bringing in a cello player, and a bass drum. And let's see, I don't think I've done this since I've written an intro to it. Let's see.
All right.
Okay. And you can tell me, as a matter of fact, I've never spoken this intro. This is based on a 1940s song by a man named Rosie Sturdivant. Alan Lomax recorded him. There's Johnny Cash and some other people have done a song by this name, but not this song. You know, John Lewis was a freedom fighter, and he made good trouble. But he passed over Jordan last year. Yes, he did. He was our John the Revelator. He was a visionary who saw the future and planted his seeds. And you know, his issues came forth the next year and turned the rivers of Georgia blue. You know, there was a revival of the flesh John Lewis was revived. There was a resurrection of the spirit. John Lewis was resurrected. And you know, both sons came forth. Both sons came forth and they turned America's rivers blue. Ain't no grave can hold John Lewis's body down. Ain't no grave can hold his body down. When that first trumpet sounds, he'll be getting up and out of the ground, 'cause ain't no grave can hold his body down, his body down. You know, I heard of a beautiful city where the streets are paved with gold. Though I've not been to heaven, oh Lord, I've been told that up from that old grave, he prayed for Georgia's soul to be saved, 'cause ain't no grave can hold his body down, his body down. You know, I heard about his preacher who laid him down to rest. He said, dear John, you know, I'll do my very best. I will carry on your fight. I will cross that bridge into the light, 'cause ain't no grave can hold his body down, his body down. You know, I heard about his beautiful intern, a bright young Georgia Jew. Oh, how he loved John, and John loved him too. He would inspire, encourage, and endorse, and now he stands to bear John's cross, 'cause ain't no grave can hold his body down, his body down. You know, when Jesus was hanging on the cross, it made poor Mary moan. He looked down on his disciples. He said, take my mother home. Ain't that a pity? Ain't it a shame? How they crucified him again and again. But ain't no grave can hold his body down. Ain't no grave can hold his body down. Ain't no grave can hold John's body down. When that far trumpet sounds, he'll be getting up and walking around, 'cause ain't no grave can hold his body down. Ain't no grave can hold his body down.
Ooh, beautiful.
Yeah, you know, and when I was saying it just now, I don't know, was it clear to you who his sons were? Was it clear to you who the preacher was? I don't know. I might have to revisit that song, because
I heard John Ossoff in there.
what's so amazing, what's so amazing is that the two senators that were elected from Georgia, who not only turned Georgia blue, but turned the whole Senate blue. One was John Lewis's preacher, and the other one was John Lewis's intern. And it just fills me uh, you just don't know where you're planting your seeds. You don't know where you're planting your seeds. And damn if that ain't a big one. And that's just incredible to me. Yeah, and I learned that from you, Queen. You told me about that one day. We were sitting around talking, and it was like, whoa, wow. So yeah, so this fellow from California sent me some funds, and I'm working on this one. And I just did the first, the narration at the beginning, but maybe I didn't. Did I make it clear about? I don't know.
I thought it was amazing, and the introduction was perfect.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I remember the song, Grave, Hold Your Body Down. There were a couple of versions of that. Remember I was kind of into those Lomax recordings for quite some time, and they're pretty powerful stuff. You really
Yeah.
updated that song and pulled it off with perfect
Yeah.
chords.
Yeah. Risa does a beautiful version of it. Risa with MSG, and Rory Block does an incredible version of it too. And I've been singing the song, but then it just came to me one day. Ain't no grave can hold John's body down. Making good trouble. Making
Yeah,
good
good
trouble. So
trouble.
I pray. You see, this is where if anybody out there has any funds available, and I'll probably send a whole whopping $100, because Georgia, aside from Georgia just twisting all of the voting rights, it's really a mess that they've done almost overnight. And the other thing that they're going to try to do is to get these two men out of office. So I sent $100 down to Stacey Abrams' campaign when they were working to get these two men in. And, we got to support it again, because it was so pivotal, not just to Georgia, not just to the US, but to the world. So, it's about America's leadership. It's about democracy's leadership in the world. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. We did a concert for democracy for Georgia with some musicians from Georgia, and it is really important. I think that you're right, and I'm going to maybe go out on a limb here a little bit, but um, there is a group of people, the blue side, who wants democracy and wants everybody to be equal and do well. And I think the other side has become a fascist party.
I agree.
And people don't realize how bad it can get with an authoritarian government and with a fascist government, or with the Nazis, with the fascist, cruelty is the point. And if we sit back and don't protect our democracy to be that, light around the world, you see what happens in India and Brazil and other places where, they're not focused on good governance and good government to help everybody, because we're all here together. You see pretty tough situations. So everybody needs to, just as you say, speak your mind, step out, take some action.
Yeah. Yeah, if at all doable, the struggle is so hard for so many people, for so many people, poverty is real. For so many people, hunger is real. And, you just got to do what you can where you can, I guess. I sometimes feel guilty because I can eat more than my share, and it's a hard road to hoe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the same time, this pandemic has taught me, I've been able to work at home. A lot of people have been able to do that. It's shown us who really are the essential workers. It's also shown us, if we want to see it, how much we have um, how wonderful this whole life can be.
Mhm.
To be grateful and appreciative, and that goes a long way. But trying to understand, have some empathy, and think about the way other people are dealing with things.
Mhm.
It's hard, but boy, the world is sure much better off with you, Gaye Adegbaloloa. I tell you.
Oh, come on now.
Oh boy, I'm saying,
Yeah, I just hope, I started doing this little show on Saturdays, half lit and talking smack. And it's over 2 years now. I started doing it well before the pandemic. And it was light and carefree. And I would get on there and kind of like just bitch about whatever I was dealing with. The first show started because I went to the doctor's office, and instead of taking my information, they gave me this thing that looked like an Etch-a-Sketch. And I had to go through this whole sequence. So I spent the first show just bitching about this new thing in the doctor's office. And so everything was kind of light and carefree and light and carefree. But then for the last year, it's been heavy duty. And so I'm getting ready to cut back because I need to focus on some levity in my life instead of the heaviness that so many of us are dealing with now. But
well, from my perspective, when I see Gaye Adegbaloloa half lit and talking smack
that's it. You got it.
on Saturday afternoon, I'm like, okay, I can watch it. It's nice you can watch it a little bit.
Oh, listen, but tomorrow I'm going to give ideas for people who haven't gotten Mother's Day gifts.
Ooh.
Yeah, I got some wonderful ideas that you can do very easily if you haven't gotten your Mother's Day gifts.
Um,
Those kinds of things. So I'm focusing on a little levity. I don't have a song to go along with it though.
yeah, well, the show you did a couple weeks ago, that was some really funny stuff, boy. I tell you, I mean, you're so creative in your songwriting. The concert you did, your birthday concert.
Oh, the birthday. Oh, really? Okay.
That was
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I did all humorous songs
Yeah.
from the 80s and the 90s, right? Yes, that's
Yeah.
what it was. Right. Oh, that was fun. That
Yeah,
was fun.
that was fun. So
I need to do another concert of songs from the 20s and the 2010s, or whatever you call them, 20 teens. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I still got funny songs. Yes.
songs from the early 21st century.
Yeah. This the other song that oh, I better not tell this. This is too good. If I tell the hook of the song, somebody just might steal it. But it's humorous. So I've gone into the humorous. I've gone back to my funny side. Yeah.
Yeah, you got a lot of sides. You got another song. We're getting
Sure.
coming up on
Let's see.
the bird clock at the hour.
Well, we're talking about democracy. And I want you to know, I'm going to sing a song about the person who kicked my ass into high gear, because I was just kind of fooling around. I was being very complacent. I look at this baby boy. He's just a baby boy to me. I want to hold him and console him. And I want to thank him for taking a knee for me. Yeah, if I could meet him now, yeah, I'd have to touch his hair. I'd pat him down, and in his eyes I would stare. Oh, say, can you see? You fell on the sword and woke me. He did not raise his fist in a mean, mean way. He got down on his knee, a humble way to pray. With worldwide television, he prayed to call attention to brutality and injustice to black people every day. intent. His whole life work was spent. Oh, say, can you see you're winning the game for me? Yeah, if I could meet him now, in my hands I'd hold his face. I'd hug him tight, hold him close, and I'd have to say, oh, say, can you see you are my new Muhammad Ali? You woke me, yeah, you woke me. Colin, you woke me. Back then, Ali woke me. Muhammad woke me, and then Colin, you woke me. Yeah, I've been cabinet. Yay. Oh, beautiful, beautiful baby boy. Gave up his whole NFL career. You know, how many of us would do that? Give up our whole career in the name of democracy. And they twisted and trumped his intent. Yeah, but what the people don't realize is that he spoke to me. And basically he said, mama, you know, I'm sure he'd call me mama or auntie or something. He said, auntie, you can't leave my ass over here swinging all by itself. Auntie, you got to do something. And so I did. And his encouragement led me to join the NAACP. You know, I didn't know where else to go. I didn't know what else to do. But he was certainly encouraging. And I'm so proud. And of course, I've gotten some pushback from Black folks who say, oh, he ain't no Muhammad Ali. And I say, yeah, but that's what he did for me. He did the same thing for me that Muhammad Ali did many years ago. Yeah, yeah.
Takes such courage.
Yeah, so Jeff, I have a ton of songs, but you know, I'm enjoying talking too. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, it's fabulous. And you know, the thing is, he never did get his, there's no reason they couldn't have hired him back. He just never got a job. He was better than a lot of those quarterbacks. It's just unbelievable. That's kind of the, you know, that.
But you know, I'm kind of glad. I'm kind of glad that he didn't come back, because if he hadn't performed well, he would have really gotten hell. And this way he can just be the martyr for the cause. And, you know, and he can still do speaking engagements and being the Nike Man of the Year. That was just beautiful. Made me go buy a pair of Nikes. Well, that's a lie. I didn't buy anything. I only buy Chucks. I buy Converse. But
You and Kamala. You
Yes.
and Kamala.
Yep, that's my girl. Even though she's in the wrong sorority, Black women will know what I'm talking about. If anybody Black woman is watching this, they will know what I mean when I say she's in the wrong sorority.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, no, but she probably copied it off of me. She saw me because I've been wearing Chucks and bib overalls for about 40, 50 years. Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah.
That's what I think about you.
Yeah, you know, you get to a point in your life where you just have to go for comfort. I did a show last night. The young man said, "Oh, the MC." He was like, "Your earrings, your earrings." I said, "Yeah, well, I have these earrings like this because I don't wear makeup. I have dark glasses for my eye makeup, and my earrings, that's like my face makeup. You know, saves a lot of time." And when you get to be, you know, in your 70s, time is really important. You know, time is really important. So, you know, you want to just, you want to savor every minute that you have. And I'm so blessed now. And I know you're blessed too, Jeff, because you have grandbabies, right? How many grandchildren you got?
3 now.
All right.
May
Huh?
May was born on the day of the Women's March,
Woo-hoo.
January 21st, whatever that year was, right after Trump's inauguration. We all thought we were going to
Right.
run out and slit our wrists. And then the women's march came around and gave us hope.
Yeah.
Whew.
You heard my song, Hope's a good breakfast, but for dinner, it's not a very good meal.
Yeah. Well,
That's right. How long are you going to be hoping? Right. But anyway, so you've got 3, and I've got a grandchild that I didn't expect because it came to me through Queen, and I've got Isaiah, and I've rededicated my life because I don't want Isaiah, and you don't want little Rosemary to go through the pain that we're witnessing now. You
Yeah.
know, I'm still fearful when my son goes out. Once I saw, okay, when Dante Wright was killed by the cop, the woman that thought she had her taser and it was really her gun,
Right.
right? You have to go, well, now, a taser is light, a gun is heavy. A taser is yellow, a gun is black. A taser would be on her other side and her gun would be on her hand shooting side. But you can say, well, she was afraid, she was messed up, she was screwed up, everything was wrong in her head, she was scared, and she made a mistake. Because I think she said when she killed him, she actually went, oops. I think that's what she did. However, the little black lieutenant who had on his military uniform that had a flag on his shoulder, and they pepper sprayed him in his face like 6 or 7 times. And the man who did it got fired. You know why he got fired? Was because he posted the video of him squirting the guy in the face on social media.
Oh my gosh.
And they said, oh, that's against our rules. You can't post stuff on social media. No, he wasn't fired because he did the wrong thing. He was fired because he posted it. And you got to say, well, now, there is no justice. There is no justice. So anyway, we just got to keep working, Jeff. We got to keep working. I know you are. I know you are. I know I am. Yeah, and I'm working for my Zay Zay, and you're working for little Rosemary. Maybe we should have a ceremony, you know, like they used to do, and you betroth the people together, and we could hook up. No, that doesn't work. That's not very democratic, is it?
Well, we could still get together and have a party.
There you go. There you go.
Well, one of the reasons that we're doing these concerts for democracy is because not all of us, know what to do, or we might be able to do some things better than other. But, I thought when May or Rosemary says to me, well, Bampa, what did you do back in the pandemic, back in the time of all that trouble with the government? Well, we had concerts for democracy.
Yeah.
That's something to say. And I would really ask musicians out there to think about doing that. If you go to the Planetary Gig Society website, there's some thoughts about what you can do. You can learn some protest songs, learn some intentional songs, write some songs, sing them for your family, put them on Facebook, video them, whatever. The artists and musicians lead. We really need artists and musicians like Gaye to lead us and give us inspiration. I tell you, Gaye.
Another Bob Dylan right about now.
Yeah. So maybe we'll inspire somebody.
Yeah, right.
To do that. Well, you got maybe one more song? We've done about an hour.
I'm trying to think. I should do. Well, I was thinking about a love song, or maybe I should do. I don't know. Let me see.
You have so many songs. How many songs do you think you've written in your life?
I've written a few hundred.
Wow.
I finally did get around to cataloging most of them, and then I sent. I still don't have them, written out by the chord changes and all, but I sent them all over to the local archives, at last. I don't know if anybody will want them or not, but I wrote this for my son many, many years ago, just to help him to cope with some bad situations. Listen, my child, listen, my son, now that you've passed 21, I want you to remember it's all right. Yes, it's all right for a man to cry. There will be times in your life, my son, you'll be filled with anger. Yes, you'll be filled with strife. And I want you to remember, it's all right. Yes, it's all right for a man to cry. Suffering so hard when you hold the pain inside. There's no shame in teardrops. There's just shame and foolish pride. So let it all out now in your time of grief. Those bittersweet tears, they bring such relief. Listen, my child, I'm talking to you, son. You're such a sensitive man. I'm so thankful you made it past 21. I want you to remember it's all right. Yes, it's all right for a man to cry. I say it's all right. Yes, it's all right for a man to cry.
Ooh, so
Yeah,
beautiful.
my son was kind of mouthy, and I knew that if he got stopped by the cops, he'd just go off. I had to teach him other ways to channel his anger. And the movie Boys in the Hood helped me to craft that song a few decades ago. And it's unfortunate that I still need to sing it, but there it is. There it is, Jeff.
Well, it's such a beautiful song from a mother's perspective, and it's a
For
real,
Mother's Day. For Mother's Day.
Mother's Day. You know,
I had another song I was going to do. The song that I wrote for Mrs. Trayvon Martin for Mother's Day, but it'll keep.
we could do that. If you want to do that,
I can do it. It's just Son House's Death Letter Blues that I've reworked the lyrics to. If you
whatever you'd like to do. This is just so wonderful. Appreciate your sharing this.
Well, I'm doing these are kind of heavy songs, but I guess you know your audience. I don't, and if we're talking about democracy, these are songs that I would put forth to say, let us keep on keeping on. We've got work to do,
Yep.
Yeah. Well, there goes my slide. Come on back, baby. Got a call this morning, reckon what it said, hurry, hurry, your boy is dead. Got a call this morning, reckon what it said. It said, hurry, hurry, your boy is dead. I grabbed my car keys, I headed on down the road. When I got there, he was laying on the corner's board. Yeah, I grabbed my car keys, I headed right on down the road. Yeah, when I got there, my boy was laying on the coroner's board. I walked up close, I looked down in his face. That's when I saw that bullet hole right near his heart's place. I walked up close, I looked down in my baby's face. Yeah, that's when I saw that bullet hole right there in his heart's place. I say, hush. I think I heard him call my name. I said, hush. I think I heard him call my name. Yeah, it wasn't so clear, but it was so doggone plain. Mama, 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 yeah, my boy was a good boy. Why was my baby killed? Oh, he was walking home to me when his blood was spilled. My boy was a good boy. Why was my baby killed? Yeah, he was walking home to me when his blood was spilled. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everybody's telling me that his death won't be in vain. Is that supposed to comfort me? Will it ease my pain? Everybody's telling me his death won't be in vain. Yes, that's supposed to comfort me. Is that supposed to ease my pain? Will it ease my pain, Lord? Will it ease my pain? Will it ease my pain, Lord? Will it ease my pain? Will it ease my pain, Lord? Will it ease my pain?
Thank you.
You know, it's so interesting that George Floyd was calling for his mama, you know, calling for his mama. So there's a Mother's Day song. Yeah.
Thank you, Gaye. You just always give
Thank
everything.
you, Jeff. And just keep on doing what you do, baby. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. You inspire me all the time, and I know
Say
you.
hi to Julie. You and Julie hug each other for me. Okay?
All right, we'll do.
Okay.
So everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to Concert for Democracy, and just we're going to keep doing these from time to time. We can't stop, as Gaye says. We have to keep doing what we're doing and
Keep the faith.
keep the faith. Just music can help us all. So
Yeah. Yeah.
thank you very much, Gaye Adegbaloloa.
All right.
Being over there, appreciate it.
Sweet dreams.
Thank you very much. Keep the faith.
Keep the faith.